Well, there's a big story in today's USA Today in the sports section. Big headlines, front section of the USA Today's sports section says, what makes athlete injuries prone? And they're talking about bad decisions on the athlete's part, overextension, trying to, excel in a certain play, bad genes, bad attitude, and they miss it by 1,000 miles. I'll tell you a story about Theo Ratliff. I met him about 14 years ago. He was a young player, 28 years old, 6'11", a great defensive player, played for the Atlanta Hawks. And he, at 28 years old, had bone-to-bone arthritis in both knees. The cartilage popped off his right hip, had to be surgically tacked down. He catches a pass some months after having that hip surgery from a teammate, fractures his wrist, and the orthopedic surgeons, the Atlanta Hawks, said, look, this guy's too fragile to play professional ball. We're just not going to sign off on him. So he lost his contract. Well, a mutual friend introduced me. We rebuilt him, put him on the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for body weight. And in 90 days, he got his position back. He was able to play and pass all the physical tests and everything, much to the surprise of the orthopedic surgeons. And over a 14-year period, he finally retired. His last 3 years he spent with the L.A. Lakers. Before that, he was with the Oregon Portland Trailblazers, I guess it is. And he made $140 million in contracts after the orthopedic surgeon said his career was over. And then there's Delisha Jones, great Olympic women's basketball player. Now she's in the WNBA. She's 40 years old, and she runs circles around the 20-year-olds. And I met her about 12 years ago. She had torn her quadriceps, tore her Achilles tendon on the same side. And she already had 2 gold medals with the women's U.S. basketball team for the Olympics. And she was getting ready to play for the third Olympics, and she wanted to get a third gold medal. And the orthopedic surgeon said, I can repair you, but you won't play at the same level of skill that you did before you had the injury, because nobody recovers completely from these catastrophic type injuries. Well, to make a long story short, rebuilt her within 90 essential nutrients. She got her gold medal, and she's just a real advocate for young women in sports, Delisha Jones. Now, I do this with hockey players, soccer players. I had soccer players who were told that they had genetic problems because they kept getting knee surgery. They blew their knee out 3 times playing soccer, and they were going to actually do another cleanup surgery, they said. And actually, they anesthetized the guy, opened him up, and he said, well, how did the surgery go? He said, well, we didn't have to do anything because everything was perfect. It doesn't look like the knee you've had for like 4 years, and we don't know why, but your genetic disease is gone. Okay? And so this is the sort of stuff I do with the 90 essential nutrients. Okay? Now, exercise and professional athletes, university athletes, and Olympic athletes, when you think about it, their average lifespan, when you take all university, Olympic, professional athletes of all sports combined, their average lifespan is 62, except for football players, 51. There's never been a professional athlete ever lived to be 100. So there's a problem with this genetics thing, and exercise, and it's supposed to be the greatest thing is for health, okay, other than sniffing oxygen and drinking water. And I want you to get a hold of the book Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission. I want you to get a hold of the book Rare Earths, Forbidden Cures. These 2 books cover the athletics and the breakdown of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between the vertebrae, bone makes bone itself, because of the lack of nutrients. And this is the piece they left out. I kept reading this article over and over and over, and they never talked about nutrition. They always talked about the athlete's mental attitude, genetics, and so forth, and bad decisions on the athlete's part when he G'd when he should have hogged, and tried to leap over people when he shouldn't have done it, and so on, and just absolutely misses it by 1,000 miles. Okay, your body requires, especially when you're sweating, and so, of course, we have the 90 essential nutrients. We have the only sports drink with 100 nutrients in it. The other sports drinks on the market have somewhere between 2 and 6 nutrients. Our sports drink, Rebound, has 100. It replaces what you sweat out. Drinking water, if you're playing sports, will rehydrate you, but doesn't replace the soup you're sweating out. You're not sweating out water when you're sweating from hard work or athletics, regardless of your age. you're sweating out a soup of all the nutrients floating around your blood. Let's say you're not supplementing, you're sweating out 65. Let's say you are supplementing with all 90, you're sweating out 90. You just drink water, you're going to be prone to injury, okay, because you're just replacing all the good stuff you're sweating out with just water. And so they've missed it by 1,000 miles. So I urge you, if you're an amateur, if you're a junior high, if you're a preschooler and you ride around a tricycle, if you're a high school, university, Olympic, professional, in the developmental league, or you're just an amateur guy bowling every Wednesday night with the company team, get a hold of a young Judy associate. Say, look, we need to know about these 90 essential nutrients so we can maintain strength, speed, and health, the 90 essential nutrients. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages. Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us today?
Well, I thought we'd talk a bit about men's health, as I've got a story that I got from the San Francisco Chronicle, and it's headlined here, Infertility in Men Linked to Major Health Problems. They say poor semen production can interfere with a couple's ability to conceive. New research from Stanford suggests that there's a connection between a variety of health problems unrelated to infertility, including high blood pressure. A study of about 9,000 men who sought help for infertility found that those with a low production were at greater risk of having certain heart and vascular problems, plus skin diseases and disorders related to the endocrine system. In fact, the more defects in the production, the more likely they were to have other health problems. This was all published in the journal Fertility and Sterility, supports and refines earlier studies that found an increased risk of cancer and of early death in men with poor semen production. Studies suggest that the fertility is closely tied to overall health in men. According to the lead researcher, Dr. Michael Eisenberg, director of male reproduction medicine and surgery at Stanford, says, we found a lot of correlations between semen production and medical conditions that we never knew about. It's a relationship that men and their doctors should appreciate. If there's some problem with the reproductive fitness, it may be there's an overall problem in itself. About 15% of U.S. couples struggle with infertility, and about half of those cases, the man has the problems. But Eisenberg says that man's fertility is never looked at roughly 1 in 4 cases. While the study did provide interesting details on associations between health and fertility, researchers are not yet able to answer what's the driving relationship, or it may be that one biological problem is causing both infertility and disease. Up to 15% of a man's genetic makeup is involved in reproduction, and it's likely that those same genes play other important biological roles. So once again, they want to try and turn around and make it genetic.
Yeah, well, when they don't know the answer, they always blame it on your genes. It's your fault, right? They've missed it again by 1,000 miles. And, of course, if you want to know anything about infertility, ask your veterinarian. We've known for hundreds of years that infertility in all species and forms of animals, horses and dogs and cats and elephants and so forth, hummingbirds, are all directly. Infertility goes along with health, because the same things that cause problems in your liver and your heart and your brain and your lungs and your kidneys also cause problems in your testicles and ovaries. Okay, and of course, in the nearest, which I say, time, this last century, getting people on a cholesterol-restricted diet, putting them on statin drugs to lower cholesterol. And remember, Doug, that testosterone is 95% by weight cholesterol. So you get them on a cholesterol-restricted diet, you get them on a statin drug to lower cholesterol, there ain't nobody home anymore because there's low T and erectile dysfunction. But also, they're going to get adrenal exhaustion. They're going to get Alzheimer's disease because 75% of your brain weight, the white matter, the myelin, the insulation material in your brain, which makes up 75% of your brain weight, is 100% cholesterol. So a lot of the infertility problems, a lot of the health problems in men are doctor-caused, physician-caused diseases. Shame on them. And, of course, the death of the theory that cholesterol and saturated fat was bad came June 23rd, 2014. Cover story, Time magazine. And, of course, it talked about Ansel Keys, the guy who took a diesel engine lubricant invented by a Nazi sympathizer in the early 1911 to 1914, I think. It was a diesel engine lubricant, turned it into Crisco. American Heart Association took $1.7 million from Procter & Gamble to endorse it for health. That pretty much killed all Americans. We fact with dead doctors don't lie to these messages. Okay, Doug, where are we at? Who are we going to talk to?
Let's head to Florida and talk to Lee. Lee, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Lee, you're on the air.
Hey, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, sir. How can we help?
I have Crohn's disease and had it for about 12, 13 years, non-medicated, but also have testosterone replacement. I have thyroid medication, and I can't lose any weight. So,
how much do you weigh?
295.
And how tall are you, sir?
6'1".
Okay. When you have Crohn's disease, you have drop-dead gluten intolerance. Okay? There's a whole series of bowel diseases that are directly caused by gluten intolerance. Okay, gluten contact. You get what's called a contact enteritis, which is kind of like contact dermatitis, only in the intestines, contact enteritis. We're talking about celiac disease, appendicitis. Did you have your appendix out as a kid?
No.
Did you have any brothers and sisters?
I had a sister. She died of a heart attack. She had Crohn's, died of a heart attack 12 years ago.
Okay, and she was younger than you, or?
Yeah, she was 34, but she was 2 years older than me at the time.
She was 34?
Correct.
Died of a heart attack, okay? Now, here's why. Okay? Also, then there's celiac disease, as I said. There is diverticulitis, diverticulosis, irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease, colitis, ulceritis, and Crohn's disease. All these are caused by a direct a contact enteritis, which is caused by a intolerance of gluten, not an allergy to wheat, brother. I know it's been an intolerance to gluten, totally different thing. And you have an absorption problem. So this is why your sister died of a heart attack at age 34. She couldn't absorb the nutrients necessary to maintain heart health. Okay? The reason why you have low thyroid, because you can't absorb enough nutrients that are required by your thyroid gland. You have low T, low testosterone, because you can't absorb the nutrients to make your testicles happy, okay? So at 6'1", I'd like to see you at 195 to 205. So you need to lose about 100 pounds, round it up to 100 pounds. And I want you to take that 2 of the Healthy Brain and Heart packs per month. I'll break it down for you in a second. But I also want you to get our Ocean's Gold and take 3 of those twice a day. It'll be 2 bottles a month. And then I also want you to take, 6 per 100 pounds of body weight. So I want you to take 12 to 15 eggs a day. Oh, I hear that music. We're going to have to run one of those message moments. So get your pen and paper out, Lee. We'll go through the details of all this, and we're going to make you a new man. We'll be back after these messages. Okay, Doug, we're going right back to Florida and Lee. Okay, again, would you give up all the bad stuff? No fried foods, absolutely no fried foods. Drop dead, fried food free. Absolutely no processed meats with nitrates and nitrites. Got to get rid of all the inflammation. That means absolutely no deli slices, no sandwich meats, no sausage, ham, bacon, bologna, salami, pastrami, pepperoni, jerky, corned beef, spam, hot dogs. All this stuff's got to go. Then no oils. It means no olive oil, no coconut oil, no margarine, mayonnaise, salt, dressing, cooking oil. And lastly, no gluten, no wheat, barley, and oats, which again are the basic root cause of Crohn's disease. Wheat, barley, and oats. Got to get rid of them. Nobody in the household can have it. Your dog, your cat, the bird, the fish, spouse, mother-in-law, kids, everybody in the household has got to be gluten-free. Otherwise, somebody's got to move out if they won't give them up. Now, let's see here. Then, of course, they said 2 of the Healthy Brain and Heart packs per month. And I want you to get an extra bottle of the selenium. If you can afford it and it's not a big financial inconvenience, it wouldn't hurt to have 3 of the Healthy Brain and Heart packs per month. But let's start out with 2 and get an extra bottle of selenium, which will allow you to have 9 selenium a day, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner. And then I want you to have a minimum of 2 ounces a day. It's an ounce at breakfast, ounce at dinner time of the OsteoFX Plus. Then I want you to have 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 NutriCrystals at breakfast and dinner. And then the EFA Pluses, 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner, and the EFA, 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner, all will be accomplished by the 2 Healthy Brain and Heart packs and an extra bottle of selenium. Again, if you can afford and doesn't put a big dent in your budget, I respect your wallet. If you can afford 3 complete healthy brain and heart packs per month, that'll be optimal for your weight. Then I want you to take, let's see here. I want you to have, because you have low T, I also want you to use what we call GTO. It's an acronym for Get Turned On. And I want you to take, I want you to get 2 boxes a month, because there's 30 pouches in each box. So it allows you to have 2 pouches a day. One sort of like mid-morning instead of a coffee break. Go ahead and take a pouch of GTO at 10 o'clock. And then in the evening, a couple hours after dinner, but a couple hours before bedtime, go ahead and have your other pouch of GTO, Get Turned On. And then I want you again to eat 12 to 15 eggs a day. Again, you can spread them out over the day. Say 4 at breakfast, 4 at lunch, 4 at dinner. They can be poached with a soft yolk, soft boiled with a soft yolk, soft scrambled with soft yolk, or very, very soft, but in butter, not margarine or oils. And then again, for the thyroid, I want you to have, I'd go ahead with 12 of the Ocean's Gold tablets a day, 4 at breakfast, 4 at lunch, 4 at dinner. That'll be 3 bottles a month of the Ocean's Gold, and that's going to give your thyroid gland things that it needs you can't get from your food anymore, make the thyroid gland happy. And to lose the weight, I want you to get 2 bottles a month, what we call ASAP. But you put a dropper full, not a drop, but a full dropper full under your tongue 30 minutes before each meal, and a second dropper full under your tongue 15 minutes before each meal. So you're going to have 2 bottles a month, of the ASAP, and that'll help you lose the weight at a rate of a half pound, 2 pounds a day. Call us every week or 2 and keep us up to date. We'll be back after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to North Carolina. And William, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, William, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, Doc. How you doing?
Okay, sir. Thank you. What's up?
I have three questions to ask you. The first one is a 61-year-old lady with MS. What does she need, or what can you do for her?
What does she weigh?
She weighs about 150 pounds.
Okay, well, first of all, you have to stop the ongoing damage. MS is caused by free radical damage to the myelin and the white matter, the insulation material in the brain. And these lesions, when you see them on a CAT scan or MRI or an ultrasound, they look like lima beans scattered throughout their brain and the spinal cord. And depending on where they randomly fall, you get different symptoms in different patients with MS. Okay, ultimately, it shortens their life. And, of course, they can have a very restricted, disabled life if they have a lot of these lesions scattered throughout their brain and spinal cord. Well, what you do is no fried foods, absolutely no processed meats with nitrates and nitrites, no oils. That means no olive oil, coconut oil, margarine, mayonnaise, salt, and cooking oils. And then absolutely no gluten. Maximize absorption of nutrients. There's absolutely no wheat, barley, rye, or oats. Then I want her to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. That'll be 3 of our Ultimate Selenium at breakfast and dinner, 1 ounce of the OsteoFX Plus at breakfast and dinner, 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 NutriCrystals at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Balances at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFAs at breakfast and dinner, all to be accomplished by the 2 healthy brain and heart pack per month. They're going to give her the basic stuff that's required by all living things for their neurophysiology and their neurological nutritional requirements, okay? So 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. I also want her to have, at 150 pounds, I'd like to see her eat 8 to 12 eggs a day. They can be soft scrambled in butter, not margarine or oils. They can be soft poached with a soft yolk or soft boiled with a soft yolk. Again, that's 10 to 12, even 15 eggs a day would be fine. Split them up over the day. And I also want her to take, in addition to those healthy brain and heart packs, I also want her to get her ORIC points, or antioxidant points, above 100,000 a day. She could do that with 5 of the Cell Shield RTQ capsules twice a day. RTQ stands for resveratrol, turmeric, and quercetin, great antioxidants to support the immune system and the mechanisms that encourage white blood cell activity, which can chew up foreign bodies and lesions and all kinds of stuff. And then we also have another choice, 6 of our Triple Treat chocolate, 6 of those will give you 100,000 ORAC points, oxygen radical absorption capacity, which is a measurement of how many free radicals which will be quenched or neutralized by the antioxidants in a supplement or food. And let's see here. Lastly, I would also throw in one of my favorites, is the OPCTs. They actually have the antioxidants found in green tea and pine bark and pine needles. OPCTs wouldn't hurt. They're very tiny little capsules. Wouldn't hurt for her to have 9 of those a day. Okay, then call me every couple weeks on this, lady, because they can show dramatic improvement very quickly. Okay, number 2.
Number 2, my other neighbor, he had 7 strokes about 5 or 6 years ago. And so 2 weeks ago, he had to go to the hospital because he was having difficulty trying to breathe. But when he got to the hospital, they said that he needed to have operation for phosphate cancer. That they did some kind of operation on him in his stomach there. And so he went through that, and then he went into a coma. And so now he is still in a coma. They have him in intensive care, but now they're having problem with him breathing, and they keep giving him oxygen. William, the important part of this story is that he's in the hospital in a coma, intensive care. After all this abuse of the medical system, the odds are he may not come out alive, right? That's a possibility here. But the message here that you want to get out to your friends, don't wait till you get into this position. Somebody that has 7 strokes, I'm assuming they were blood clot strokes. Do you know that, if they were blood clot strokes or bleeding strokes? Yes, I think that's what they were. Mm-hmm. Yes.
85% of all strokes are blood clot strokes. These are actually caused by a deficiency of omega-3 essential fatty acids, or a ratio problem between omega-3, 6s, and 9s. So if he had 7 strokes in 1 year, I'm sure they were giving him blood thinners after the first one, but they missed the point completely. Because when you have blood clot strokes, the blood clots are caused by a deficiency of the omega-3. That's one of my 8 lawsuits against the FDA in which I prevailed in federal court. That's why you see so many omega-3s for sale all over, because of that lawsuit. Okay, so basically, everybody should be taking the 90 essential nutrients, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids, and this is going to reduce the risk of as many as 900 different diseases, including thrombotic stroke, or coronary thrombosis, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis. And this guy could have had just a complete deficiency of the omega-3s, or a ratio problem between omega-3, 6s, and 9s, or he could have had a gluten intolerance and not had a very efficient absorption of omega-3s, or he could have had a gallbladder taken out and he would have an inefficient way to absorb omega-3s through the lack of bile. So there's all kinds of stuff going on here, but that's the message to take out of this. And, of course, if you can get the 90 essential nutrients into him in intensive care, good luck. Okay, quickly, the third one.
The third one is, I want to know what product do you need to use to gain weight?
Okay, to gain weight, everybody needs the 90 essential nutrients, okay? The 90 essential nutrients, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. They also need to get rid of all the bad stuff, no fried food, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, maximize absorption. And then at least 1 or 2 meals a day, I'd have them use our Slender Effect shake. It's a meal replacer, banana or chocolate. But instead of making it with water, which would be a weight loss program, make it with heavy whipping cream, throw in 4 eggs, and do that twice a day, and then have a regular meal with fish and red meat. For the third meal, lots of vegetables. And this is what we do for athletes who want to gain weight, primarily muscle. William, and we'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Longevity, 90 Flat Crusade. And Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to Phoenix, Arizona. And Michelle, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Michelle, you're on the air. Hi.
Hi.
How can I help you?
I'm actually calling in from, I had found, June 1st, I had found a lump in my left breast, and then I had a thermogram done and an ultrasound done. I have not done a mammogram or a biopsy. And, of course, those both came back suspicious that I should have them further looked at with a mammogram and a biopsy. I do now have a swollen lymph node under my armpit on the left side. None of that has been changing since probably September, October, but I have found that I have pain in my right hip, which one of my chiropractors diagnosed as a possible bursitis. And then I also had, since about November 1st, like my sternum was tender, and now my ribs and my sternum, and it moves from side to side. Sometimes it's both sides, sometimes it's on one. And the pain is so bad that I can't cough, I can't sneeze. I couldn't get up and down out of bed very easily, and I did go to an urgent care, and they had diagnosed it as classical chondritis, which is inflammation. And I'm just kind of, that's about it.
Okay, how old are you, Michelle? What do you weigh?
I'm 46, and I weigh about 135 pounds.
Okay, it could be just simple arthritis. It could be bone problems, cartilage problems, but it could also be metastatic breast cancer, okay? You have to appreciate those range of possibilities there. And so I would get an ultrasound, a high-resolution ultrasound of your ribs and your hip and places that hurt, and you can pretty much tell if you have metastatic cancer in the bone by how the bone changes are. And so I would have a look. I wouldn't necessarily get a mammogram. One mammogram equals 50 chest x-rays. Some people say as much as 500 chest x-rays, but somewhere between 50 to 500 chest x-rays. So I wouldn't get a mammogram at this point. But it wouldn't hurt to get a high-resolution ultrasound of your breast, of your hips, your ribs, and any place where you have all this excruciating pain. And in the meantime, it won't hurt to stop all the bad stuff, stop all the inflammatory stuff, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, brown, rye, oats. Get rid of all that stuff out of your life. And then at 135 pounds, I would go ahead and take one of the healthy brain and heart packs per month and one healthy bone and joint pack per month, and take a full dose of each of those things at breakfast. Say the full dose of each of the products in the healthy brain and heart pack at breakfast, and a full dose of everything in the healthy bone and joint pack at dinner time. That's going to kind of support maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, all that kind of stuff, support your immune system. But I would definitely not disregard all this stuff going on, especially if you have lumps on your arms. All this. I would definitely get a high-resolution ultrasound, absolutely no radiation, and go to a reputable radiology laboratory. I don't think you need a prescription for that, and have them look at it and see if you have what would be typical metastatic lesions in the bones, which is not uncommon for breast cancer. It goes to the ribs and the pelvis and the long bones of your arms and legs and things. And so I would definitely pursue that and eliminate that possibility. So call us when you get some more diagnostic information, but that's kind of where I would start. Okay? And so I can't... Yeah. So,
what about, like, extra selenium?
Yeah, that's part of the healthy brain and heart pack, because you're going to get the selenium. Okay?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, Doug, how much time do I have?
You got about 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Well, I just remind everybody, get my new book, Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, and learn how to add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life. Equally important, maybe more important, how to add 25 to 50 healthy years to the life of your kids, your spouse, your mom. And if you save yourself and your family, guess what? You'll help save America. Thank you so much, everybody. Great testimony to question today. Thank you so much, Doug and Billy. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.